Hey everyone, it's Milo here for the Fellowship of Acoustics, and I'm standing next to Xander Vrienten. We've welcomed Xander here at the Fellowship because he's a professional bass player here in the Netherlands, one of the best we have.
Thank you.
I want to say. And today we're going to shoot some bass content because I know we don't do that a lot. We don't have a lot of bass players in-house. I'm not a bass player. So we wanted to have a real professional here to give his opinion on all these beautiful vintage basses, some new basses. We're just going to walk through a lot of them. I know you best from your work with Jet Rebel and also Treintje Oosterhuis. Can you maybe give a short explanation of what you do as a musician here?
Yeah, well, for most time I play bass. I do lots of stuff like producing and arranging, and since childhood I play bass and I'm just in love with them, and you have so many beautiful basses here. And we're going to talk about them. As a bass player, I don't know, I really love classical music, jazz music, pop, rock, like everything. I'm a junkie for every genre, I'd say.
And for almost every genre you need a bass, right?
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to start off with a video on the vintage basses that we have right now, because we have
some babies, man.
We got some real babies. We now got four incredible early 60s P basses. We got a vintage jazz bass and a Hofner that we're going to talk about. First, I want to know what's your experience with vintage basses? Do you own one?
I own a few. I have a 70s jazz and I have a 70s P and a 60s P. And my experience is very good. I loved it. And I always tell myself when I play in a smaller bar or in a pub, don't bring the expensive basses, but I always bring them.
Yeah.
I'm just in love with them. And only when I'm touring abroad and by plane.
Yeah, right.
Since a couple of years I'm renting now, and I have good experience with that. But for the rest, yeah.
If it's up to you, then you would prefer to use
a vintage one.
Vintage only.
And in the years, I changed from jazz to P and back. Mm-hmm. But the last couple of years, it has been precision. Yeah.
All right. So if you see these five right here, which is the first that jumps out to you?
Yeah. The funny thing with instruments is just like love. You see five of them and they're all beautiful, but there's one and you want to make love with her. And that's the middle one for me.
That's the redhead. So we're looking at a 65 P bass. I can give you some close-ups because what's really special about this one is the finish. This is a candy apple red. But as you can see, there's a gold undercoat shining through. And what's special about this is that before 65, they used they call it Inca silver undercoat under the candy apple red. Which gives it more of a sort of metallic look when the red is over it. And then in 65 they switched to the gold undercoat, and that makes the candy apple red look really, popping.
I don't know if you see it on camera, but it's absolutely beautiful. I think when all this, how do you call it, when they make it now relic they want to make it look like this, I think. It's beautiful.
This is what they try to do.
Yeah.
This is a sort of a transition phase, so in 65, Fender was sold to CBS. Mm-hmm. Most people say the quality dropped after that time, though opinions are divided on that.
The famous pre-CBS discussion. Yeah.
Right, and this still has the L series serial number, which would suggest that in the transition period they used some parts still from 64 and they built basses in 65. Yeah. So,
but of course it worked like that. It's not like there's a hard cut. You had some spare parts and you put it on the new parts. And
I want to give it to you because
thanks.
I want to hear some first impressions when you hold this one.
Well, the grip of a bass and the grip between the neck and the body, you always feel how sturdy it is.
Yeah.
And well, maybe if you feel how the wood is like resonating, and I always have these discussions with producers I work with, and when we talk about basses and with bass sound, is that for me every sound is something. There isn't a good or bad, but there is something with the how much bass or mid or treble is resonating in the wood. For me, very good basses are basses who feel very tight in the low end. The beautiful thing about most of the time with old basses is that the wood is they're so connected, they're so together. And I'm not sure if you talk to a physic man,
if they will tell the same
for
thing.
For me, it's something in the wood and how if it makes the sound true, the true grit of the sound.
Yeah. Shall we try it out? This one.
Yeah. When I saw this bass, I thought
this is your
she's
baby.
A beauty.
Yeah.
The first thing I do when I have a bass with a cap like this on it, I put it off. I really don't like it.
It's nice that it's a complete package right now, but maybe just leave it in the case. You know.
I have a drawer with like 6 of these.
You can mix and match. Yeah. Does this get in the way of your playing then?
Yeah, for me it does. But sometimes bass players have a beautiful sound and they play over here or play over here. And of course, this is more fat or like, and this is more twangy when you go to the bridge. Yeah, well, what I really like about this bass straight away from the sound is that you feel that the wood is beautiful, like the roundness.
It has a woody quality to it, even though it's through a pickup, but you can sort of hear a sort of airiness in it or something.
There's a soul in it. The weird thing also with P basses is that I don't know how other bass players have that, but I have a very weird relationship with the tone button.
Okay.
For me, most often I have the tone button of an old P, like on 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is sort of 1. This is 0. That's very nosy, but here already you have very bright, and if you put it on 10, it's very metallic vibe. I don't really like that.
Wow.
Sometimes it's nice if you really want to have punch and stuff. But
depends on the bass as well. I think some basses will sound better with the tone knob somewhere else.
In my opinion, almost all P basses, their tone is way too metallic.
Okay.
But I mean, that's my taste, of course. So when I play on my old P, I play like this. So on 1, 2. You already hear it's quite open.
Yeah.
And for me, the most perfect example of a relationship between a person and a bass is Jamerson and the precision.
Yeah.
And his sound and how the bass dances and how deep it is and how much tone he has, and always when I have an old P, I put the tone button down and like just to hear the soul of the bass. And maybe just etc.
It almost sounds like you have the foam underneath the strings when you play it like this.
That's a trick you do it with I thump it here, not here.
So you fret the note with your first finger and then you mute it with the rest, right? Okay.
And I always feel like Jamerson because he played everything with one finger. He came from double bass, right? So he played everything with one finger, so he has sort of a handicap, and I think you feel it and you hear it when he dances with his notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I have the handicap on my other hand, I always think it's sort of, if you get too good at techniques and stuff, you lose the connection with your heart in a way.
Understand, yeah. Sometimes you can get to the core of your playing when you limit yourself.
Exactly.
You know? Also I think with songwriting, I'm a songwriter as well. I think that's also when you set a certain limit for yourself. When
I
writing
totally
a song,
agree. Yeah.
you can get way deeper, you can get to the core instead of when there's a whole world of possibilities, I think.
Yeah, my dad is a composer as well, and here in Holland he's quite famous. So we were just talking about him. He always said when he made like music for a movie or something, before you start, watch the movie and think what your concept is going to be. And the funny thing is when you make the concept very narrow-minded, like you tell yourself, I'm going to do this with one finger on the bass and a flute, then suddenly you have so many options because you limit yourself. And I think it's the same with bass playing, with composing, with everything. Yeah. So that's a big lesson for me. Yeah.
Shall we switch to another P bass? This one sounds incredible. I will grab one. You can stay seated. Another 65 P bass, and now it's a Sunburst.
Very different.
What do you feel right away when you hold this one?
The neck is very different. So what I like about that neck, and most of my basses have there's a little bit more shallow. When you grab one like this in the beginning, you always have to adjust because the sides are quite steep. Yeah. If you know what I mean. So let's start with the tone.
Tone all the way down or tone at 1?
All the way down. Yeah. Way more open than the other one.
Louder?
Louder. Ooh. This is with the tone button totally closed. Yeah. And here I hit the strings just above the pickup, so it's louder.
Some metallic ring. You said straight away new strings. I think these might be newer than the other ones. And also these are round ones, right? So that's also a difference because that one had the flat, so there's
that's a big difference.
A tone difference.
In like the 400, 500, it's more open than the other one. Yeah. And that's probably also because of the strings, but also because of the bass. Yeah. Different vibe.
Really different, yeah.
But it's a bit less heavy.
Mm-hmm. You like the Candy Apple Red one more compared to this one?
Yeah, I like that one more. It's more of my taste. But this one, I can imagine that a lot of people like this one more because it has more balls. Well, they play both quite easy. I think I don't know who did it, but the afstelling,
the setup.
The setup is very nice. You hear it sings with you.
Yeah. Well, we do have another 60s P bass, so maybe we will just switch over to an Olympic White. Now maybe I can show it to the camera. This is a 66 Olympic White. The finish is from the factory, but we do see a line going through here. You can see it over here as well. At one point in time, the people who owned this wanted to have sort of a, how do you call it, a binding on the side of the bass. And later they found it was not such a good idea, so now that's why it looks like this. I will give you this one.
It's broader than I'm used to, but it's a bit smoother than the other one.
Also tells you how much they experimented, you know, during this time. There's no such thing as just a 64, 65 neck.
In my opinion, every year is even different. Yeah. But that's the magic about basses, right? You can make 10 the same necks and 10 the same bodies, and you put them in each other, And there are 10 different basses.
And they are such simple instruments, you know. Just like you say, it's just a solid block of wood with one pickup and a neck on it, and then every one of them sounds different.
So this is with the tone, well, even more power.
Yeah.
Now the tone is on 10. It's so much. Okay, let's do it on 8. Yeah. Yeah, you can really rock with it.
Yeah.
And funk, like Flea, but also the output is very high of the bass. Almost
crazy.
Too much. It's crazy, yeah.
Cool. Maybe we can make the jump to the jazz bass because I think it's a 77. Let me grab it for you.
Thank you. Oh, it's like Valhalla. Someone brings me all these beauties.
And you have a 76.
76 or 4, I don't remember, but it's quite similar. It's less heavy than this one.
Okay.
And it's a total Frankenstein. I rebuilt it. So the output level is like half of it, and the low end is like a third of it.
That's a huge difference.
Huge difference. So if you want to go more to a P bass, you always put this one off. But this one is just really the twangy old school sound. I would put this one a bit less high as well, a bit more low. Yeah, if you want to do stuff like that, it's... Also the tone for this bass is a bit too much for me. Now it's gonna sound nice. Like if you listen to old albums from like the Eagles or I don't know, Little Feat and stuff. Those players played on most of the time, I think, on a jazz bass, and then you really, I think you need a different amp, like an old school, something with a bit more round in the middle, and then
not too punchy. Otherwise,
no.
It's.
And then, if I would play on this bass, I would probably boost the bass and mid a bit, but not too much that the wood still makes it through. Already better.
And in terms of necks, because you were talking about the width of a neck, this is, of course, the jazz basses are really narrow, and there was also the invention for the jazz bass that they wanted to make it really small because they
more like
thought
a guitar.
They thought that maybe jazz players would love that, would love the narrow necks. But how do you feel with a narrow neck like this?
Yeah, it plays very nice. And I have quite big hands, but still I really like it because it's so close to each other. I think there's, from the 70s on, there's like a lot of different, I see some around me, a lot of different basses, and the jazz bass sort of got a lot of competition
Yeah.
in the disco and in the sort of midly components, and the P, I think, won all the battles.
Yeah. All right, let's make the jump to. We're going away from Fenders and maybe a totally different beast. This is a 65 Hofner Violin Bass. You said that you also own a violin bass yourself.
Yeah.
An even older one than this one.
So when I go to a studio, I always at least bring 3 basses, sometimes more, and I have one P, and the P always wins. Like every producer always says, I want that one. But if I bring my Hofner, it really has a different vibe. It's very deep. It sings. You feel the wood, but it's
really subby. They can get the short scale basses, right?
Really subby. And the times I play on a song, it's always a bit of a weird song, and then it fits to play on the Hofner.
For all the people who don't know the Beatles, maybe one or two of you out there, of course we know the violin bass from Paul McCartney. I think he had a earlier 60s because his was actually stolen, and I think he found it back later.
Sort of last year, there were a lot of commotion that they found it back.
Yeah, and his had the 2 humbuckers closer together towards the neck, so he had them here. And I think they changed around 63 or something. They changed to the wider spacing. But this is the same model that Paul McCartney did use.
It's beautiful, and what I really like about Hofners is the thing they have over here, the rhythm and solo. So if you play rhythm, you do like that. If you solo, like that. Bass on and off, and treble on and off. And I will show you how it sounds. Like this is the volume, 2 volumes of the 2 pickups. So I put them open both. So this is solo and bass off and treble off. Treble on, really like from the mid to the high. The difference is huge. The low mid even. Okay, bass on. What does that? It shifts a little, but the impact isn't that. I like this one more. Yeah. And rhythm.
Really nasal or something.
Yeah. A bit more gain. Whoa, lots of highs this one. I like it. It's very compact and punchy and.
Yeah, completely on the other side of the spectrum than where we started with the P basses. So we started with the Candy Apple Red 65, and now we ended with a violin bass also from 65. Totally different, but equally beautiful.
I think if you have one of the P's, the jazz, and this one in your collection. Yeah, you don't need anything.
That's Xander's advice. Just buy a P bass, a jazz bass, and a
then you first have to really save your money. For a year. Don't eat for 10 years.
And win the lottery maybe. That also helps.
It's funny. Still, for like 8 out of 10 cases, I'd pick the P.
Yeah.
But for 1 out of 10 this one, and 1 out of 10 the jazz bass.
Yeah. Thank you very much for playing on these.
Thank you for sharing them with me.
They sounded really great in your hands, and it's really nice to hear your opinion on how you look at those basses, being a professional bass player.
Well, it's a real pleasure to touch them all.
Right, thank you, and thank you very much for watching. We're going to shoot some more videos today, so there will be some more bass content for you all. So see you in the next video. Bye.